Hello, hello, everyone. Happy Friday. I'm so sorry that I have been delayed. I was on a call, but I am so excited for today. So, today is the actual launch party for my podcast. Now, some of you who have been in this community for a while, you have heard me kind of tease a little bit about this, about the people who I'm going to interview, about the amazing people that I come across. And I am so glad to finally have a platform. Hi, Greta. Hi, Laura. To be able to not only bring in the experts that I've come to know and trust, but also feature some amazing women in this community who have had amazing success with the starter pack, who are not afraid to go bigger with the message. So Dr. Greta actually is going to be one of the amazing female founders. I mean, she's gotten her like third press feature in a month. I have Tanisha, who you all know got like 10 plus features, and I cannot wait for them to review how they were able to overcome the mindset blocks, own their story, and actually get featured. So I'm going to just share my screen and show you what the cover art looks like, and then we're going to do the whole thing, okay? Yay, I'm so excited. Why don't you tell me, thank you so much, everyone. Why don't you tell me who you are, because I can't see your name unless you actually put in your name. So, all right, so we've been working on this for a couple of months. This is the cover art that we went with. I wanted to do the cover art with me kind of like falling on like a little it's kind of like a bin, but then I was like, oh my god, does it look like I'm like sitting on a toilet or something? So I decided to not go with that photo and go with this photo. So right now the trailer is up, and I've already started having reviews. I'm going to put this in the chat, and we're doing a crazy giveaway. So anyone who reviews will get a free gift from me, which is a link to how to make your press page. It's a quick little video. And then out of the 50 people, you have to be one of the first 50 people. Out of the first 50 people, you win a 30-minute session with me where I will help you write whatever it is that you want. I know that some of you have already gone a one-on-one session with me, but maybe it's, hey, Gloria, I want your feedback on my about section, or Gloria, I want to apply for this speaking gig and I want your eyes on this application. Or we could just talk about anything. So it's 30 minutes, one on one. We're going to do whatever it is that you want to do. We're going to open a Google Docs and just start writing and start brainstorming. So, but you have to be one of the first 50 people to review. So when you review, please take a screenshot, because unfortunately with Apple iTunes, I don't know like the name. The name here is not the name of your Instagram. So just tag your review, or like take a photo of this cover art, tag at Gloria Chow PR, and then I will know that it's you, and I will send you over the free gift. And then we'll do a drawing for for two people out of the first 50 reviews. We'll be able to win a 30-minute one-on-one session with me. And we can get a lot done in 30 minutes, trust me. So tag Gloria Chow PR after you review, and then we will do the drawing next week. And I cannot wait to meet two of you on a one-on-one session. Yay! All right, so here are some of the things that I want to ask, because you are my audience. I want to know, in terms of episodes or people that you've listened to on a podcast, who would be good, right, for this podcast. Now, I want to keep it very value driven. So, although what I talk about is very, we talk about mindset, we talk about entrepreneurship, I want to keep it very focused on overcoming the limiting beliefs that you need to be ready to go bigger with your message. So, anyone who is an inspirational storyteller, anyone who maybe does coaching on public speaking, I have people who are journalists on there. I interviewed people who do like YouTube strategy. So once in a while, I'll talk a little bit more about marketing, but I want to keep it very focused on someone who overcame their limiting beliefs and did it anyways, who did it scared and was able to impact people, because this is really what it's about. It's about impact, right? We cannot make an impact if we're hiding behind the scenes, if we're wishy-washy with our message, if we're not sure that we deserve to take up the space that we are taking up, because honey, your crown has been bought and paid for. You deserve to take up the space. So type in the comments if you know anyone that you think that I should interview. I'm happy to accept pitches. And by the way, we just hot off the press, y'all, my podcast agency just showed me the podcast landing page. So I'm going to show that to you as well. As you can tell, we've been heavy in like development mode. So I'll show you what it is. It's gloriachow.com/podcast. And come Monday, you will see all of the episodes. and I will show you. I will actually do a reveal first of exactly what each episode is. So I'm so excited. But first, let me share with you what the podcast page looks like. I'm so excited for y'all to see it. All right. Is it this one? Okay, so here it is. This is gloriachow.com/podcast is the landing page to my podcast. So it's got me right here, Small Business PR Podcast. Go to small podcast for small but mighty businesses. Brand new episodes every Monday, and there's an embedded player. And depending on where you listen to it, you can listen to all these things. Just don't forget to rate and review, so that way we can enter you into the giveaway for a free one-on-one session with me. Okay, and this is me right here. And then we're still kind of building this out, but basically, I want you to join our Facebook group, leave a review, and then share so that we can get more people interacting and more people who can give value. We have tons of podcasters already in this group. We want to get it out to more people who can bring value, because that's what a community is. A community is not just me talking at you all the time, right? It's people who share value, who share what they've done, who invite people who are watching right now onto their podcast, right? I can think of 6 people who have podcasts in our community who have invited or have received pitches from other people in this community. And also, if you want to land your first podcast interview, you can download my proven podcast template. So that's kind of what it is right now. It's pretty simple, but I'm excited to really build this out. And so, in terms of the first 4 episodes, can you take a guess? Can you take a guess on who is going to be in one of the top 4 episodes? And then I'll tell you exactly who we have in the first 4 episodes. So exciting! All right, so as you all know, it is gift guide month, right? So it is prime time to get into a gift guide. And the first episode I have is the one and only, I'm not going to say her name, her full name, but her name is Margot. And she is the gift guide wellness product editor and freelance writer. She writes about best wellness products, best gifts for Refinery, Bustle, Brides, House Beautiful, Forbes. And she is the person who decides which product goes into these best lists. So if you make a product for wellness or travel and you have ever wanted to get into those product roundups, episode 1 is going to be for you. Okay. It's not Jennifer Dawkins. She is on the podcast, but she's not one of the 4, because Jennifer doesn't cover gift guides or product guides. Jennifer Dawkins is in our community though. And here's another thing is that if you join the PR Starter Pack before October 25th, I'm actually going to have this editor who writes for Forbes, House Beautiful, Refinery, Bustle, Well and Good. She will be actually on the live call with us on October 25th. So I am having her on the live call. You can meet her. You can talk to her directly. You can even pitch to her, and that will be your chance to shoot your shot. Now, you don't have to do it and put yourself on the spot. We're going to have like an Airtable form. You can submit your questions, but I have never done this before on a VIP call. So for anyone who joins the starter pack before October 25th, you will be able to get FaceTime with this person who is episode 1 of my podcast. Remember, she writes for Forbes, House Beautiful, Refinery, Bustle, Well and Good, and so many more. So if you've ever wanted to meet someone who writes for all of those and decides which products she's going to pick for the best gifts, for the best whatever, this is your chance to get FaceTime with her. Okay, so that is your time to get FaceTime with her. I'm so excited for this call. So join us in the PR Starter Pack before then. Another thing is that on the second episode, it's going to be a solo episode. I want to do kind of a mix between like solo and guest. So the second one is going to be my signature, how to land over 1 billion organic views. So that is my CPR method. And if you haven't watched the masterclass, please do it, because this is the exact framework that has helped thousands of founders around the world gain organic 1 billion views. So that's anywhere from my own views to working with startups in the past to working with the people in the starter pack. 1 billion organic views, no affiliate commission, no paying influencers, no giving products to influencers, free 99. I'm talking press, organic press. Okay. That's going to be episode number 2. I'm going to walk through the CPR method, but please watch the masterclass, because that way you'll get more informed. Episode 3 is our one and only Tanisha. She is one of my best case studies. And if you see the masterclass, you'll see she had an idea for a fitness space. And it was during COVID. So not only did she not have a fitness space, she had no physical, like actual space. She didn't have funding. She was crowdfunding for an idea. And using the CPR method, she was able to get onto Shape, Time, Club Industry, Pop Sugar, Well and Good, and like 10 plus outlets. And she's not even doing the gym anymore. Now she's pivoted and she's doing something else. But guess what? She's still riding on the wave of the press because she's still in the wellness industry. She will come on. We're doing a deep dive on where her business was before she pitched, how she actually got in the DMs and secured that Shape interview because it was actually from a rejection that she turned into something else, and what she's building now and what she has learned throughout the process of pitching. Right? I cannot tell you how important it is to get comfortable with pitching because look, you can always delegate PR, right? You can always outsource it. But if you don't take control of your story, if you don't know what your one clear message that's going to resonate with people and draw people into your world, you will always be giving your power away to other people. And if they come to you and they say, sorry, you paid us 5 grand, 10 grand, and this is all we got for you, you're still stuck at square one. So that is why it's so important to watch the masterclass, to figure out what your angles are, and to just be comfortable with putting your message out there. And that's exactly what she did. So that's episode 3 is with Tanisha, how I did it. That's an episode with her. I'm so excited because she hasn't come onto our Facebook Live yet, but she recorded this episode, and I'm going to try to have her on our Facebook group for a little Q&A afterwards. Episode 4. And by the way, this is like world premiere. Like no one knows how I'm doing the episodes. You are the first ones to know exactly what the episodes are. And by the way, on Monday, all 4 episodes will drop at the same time, right? So we're going to have 4 episodes that you can binge on, and you are the first to know, these are the 4 episodes. Okay. So the last episode, the 4th episode is going to be Jenna Dawkins, right? Is going to be me talking about how to land podcasts. So that's episode number 4. So we're gonna have 1 guest, 1 solo, 1 guest, 1 solo. So that's kind of how I imagine it. There might be some episodes where I skip the solo training and I might have 2 guests, but that's kind of how I want to keep it. I want to keep it a mix of both me and the guest. So the 4th episode of just me is how to land a podcast. Now, a lot of you have heard that, I've really used getting onto podcasts to build my business because it's SEO, right? If you Google me, it's on there. I didn't have to pay for any ads and I didn't have any budget for ads. So as I was building my business during COVID, that's how I was able to get traffic, was getting onto other people's podcasts. So that's shareable content, that's social media content. I turn it into a blog and then I can email you. So that's why I think podcasts are so important, because for those of you who don't feel comfortable being on video or being in a live interview setting, the podcast is such an amazing way to get content that's searchable and repurposable. So I'm going to show you exactly how to get on a podcast and what to do, 5 ways to repurpose the content. And if you go to gloriachowpr.com/podcast, right now you can download my proven podcast template, the one that's gotten me onto 30 plus podcasts in the last 6 months. So that's the 4 episodes that's going to drop. Please, please, please review. And that way you can win one of the 30-minute sessions. I'm going to give away 2 30-minute sessions, but you have to be one of the first 50 to review. You can even review it right now. You can review the trailer. So we have people already reviewing it because they want to be one of the 2 people. So that's that. And then I have a lot of the other episodes recorded, but I actually want to ask you all questions because you're my audience. I'm doing this for you. I want to know what you want in an episode. Okay. So here are some of the questions. All right. What is one thing you hate while listening to a podcast? Like what is something that you don't like when you are listening to a podcast that the host does? Let me know so I can make sure not to do that, right? What is one thing you don't like in a podcast? Let me know in the comments. Okay? Or what makes a podcast really binge worthy? That's something that you're going to keep going back to. Let me know as well, okay? So let me know in the comments what you don't like when the podcaster does something, and what are some of the things that you do like that you're like, oh, I'm going to pay attention, because I know we're multitasking. I know we're all multitasking, right? So what are some of the things you hate? And also, what are some of the things that you value in a podcast? Here's one thing I value in a quality podcast is they don't just tell you, but they show you. So there are real life examples of what they're doing, right? And so that's important to me too. When I give a masterclass, I actually show you like the actual pitch that got featured. So, even though it's an audio medium, I still want to give you as many tidbits as possible. All right. So hate exceedingly long intros, 8 minutes in, still haven't gotten to content. Okay. I will keep that in mind. I think the first episode has a longer intro, but that's because it's the first one. But you know me, I'm all about cutting to the chase. So I appreciate that. All right. So Mary says content is key for me and energy is key. Awesome. Awesome. Here's another question. Do you like listening more to solo episodes, or do you like listening to a mix of both solo and interviews with guests? Let me know. Oh, thank you, Greta, for submitting. I appreciate it. Yes. I would love to get some more one-on-one time with you. All right. So, do you like listening to more solo episodes or guest episodes? Let me know. Or do you like a mix? The way that I'm having it now is I have one guest and then one solo. All right. So, Mary says mix. Okay, awesome. Here is another question that I would love to ask you is if you could interview anyone who is living, who would it be? Or better yet, who is one person that I should definitely consider interviewing on my podcast? Who you think would be great for our audience, who is diverse, who's authentic. I'm really all about interviewing diverse founders. I really pride myself on the fact that this community is over 90% women of color. And I think it's so unique and incredible. And I'm so proud of the diversity in this group. And I want to keep that going. So the people who I interview, I want to make sure reflects that as well. That's not just your typical faces that you see online, right? It's people who maybe were the underdogs, because I'm all about the underdog. People who do things a little bit differently, scrappier. They don't have all these fancy connections because I don't have fancy connections. These are my people, and y'all are my people. Okay, so my question is, if you could interview any person, who would it be? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to review. Yay, someone just submitted a review on Instagram. Okay, yay, I'm excited. So I will send you the free gift if you review, and then I look forward to hopefully you being one of the 2 people who can win a one-on-one session with me. All right. So who should I interview, and who would you want to interview? For me, I would love to interview Oprah. That is like the one person I would love to interview. I'm obsessed with her. Okay, someone else says, I like when the podcaster introduces the show with a question that brings me in. Okay, that's very nice. Thank you so much. Here's another question. What are your favorite podcasts? Why don't you put that in there? So I love Oprah. So I love her Super Soul podcast, but I also listen to a lot of business podcasts, right? So I listen to The Art of Online Business. My coach, Rick Mulready, I'm also on his podcast as well. It's the ins and outs of building an online business. I also listen to The Daily. I feel like the New York Times has done some really good reporting, especially with everything that's going on in the world. To me, it's one of the better reporting that doesn't have a sensationalist angle. So I listen to The Daily. And I also listen to, what's that podcast with where they do like 2 different viewpoints? So they did like Kara Swisher and someone else. I forgot what it's called, but my boyfriend was listening to that, and he showed it to me. And it's basically, they talk about like one issue, like whether it's like vaccines or voting, and then they have like 2 opposing sides. I really like that one as well. Hi Barry, how are you? All right, so those are some of the. Oh, I really liked listening to Brene Brown's podcast, and I also was binging like years ago on Big Magic, Elizabeth Gilbert. This was before I had my business, when I was still really in the mode of like figuring out what I wanted to do. I was living at home. I was on unemployment. I quit my fancy government job, and I did a lot of soul searching. So Big Magic was key for me, because she talks about how when you have a creative idea, you can't just keep ruminating on it and keep not taking action. So imagine your ideas, or let's say your pitch is an airplane and it's on the runway, but if you don't take off, it's going to crash into the divider. So as a person with an idea, it has to take off. You can't just keep perfecting it and thinking about it and asking everyone. The universe rewards action. And so for anyone who feels like they're not ready yet for PR, or they don't deserve to pitch, or they're going to wait, I'm telling you, honey, there is no right time. Dr. Greta, Mary, Barry, everyone here can tell you, it's just, you have to start, right? The difference between entrepreneurs who make it and don't is the ones that take action. And that's why I say pitching is a muscle. You have to flex it. Now, if you join us in the PR Starter Pack on October 25th, I will have the actual gift guide writer for Forbes, Refinery 21, 29, Bustle. She is episode 1. So on Monday, you will hear the ins and outs of everything. She will be on the live call with us. And I have never had an actual Forbes journalist on the call. You will be able to meet her and actually pitch her directly. So that is what's going to be so amazing. And then I guess one last question is, what would make the podcast, like my podcast, a must for you every single week, right? I'm gonna basically have it every single Monday. But what would make this podcast like something that you would listen to every single week, that you wake up listening to? I want to know. Oh yes, Richard Branson. Yes, I would love to interview him for sure. All right. Greta says she loves marketing school. All right. What would make the podcast like so binge worthy for you? Let me know. And by the way, thank you for those that have submitted your reviews. I know Apple is a little slow, but we're going to go through all of them, and then we're going to do the giveaway for the first 50 who review can win a one-on-one session with me. All right. So what would make my podcast a weekly must for you? Let me know. Um, so somebody said that they like a mix of expert interviews and solo. Somebody said they like when the podcasters introduces the show with a question that brings me in. Definitely, I will try that. Is there anything else that I must have? Is there anything else I must have on this podcast that would make it such a binge worthy thing for you? Let me know. Right. No, for sure. So Greta, all of the podcast episodes are 30 minutes. I'm all about keeping it high value, as you know. So mine is at the 30 minutes mark. I mean, there's an intro and an outro, but yeah, 30 minutes is even my interview with the Forbes journalist is 30 minutes for sure. All right. Someone else says binge worthy each week need to be interviewing a reporter giving us insights. Yes. So Jonathan, I've already interviewed 3 reporters. The first one being the Forbes one. I've already interviewed Jennifer Dawkins. She's already done a Facebook Live with us in our Facebook group. She is a business insider reporter. She covers small business and entrepreneurship. And everyone and everyone's trying to pitch to her, but she's revealed some extremely valuable insights on how she reads her pitches and how she organizes her pitches. And it's different than what you might think. So please make sure that you go back into the Facebook Live and find that one. It's under the guides tab. And who knows, I might also have her on a VIP call one of these days. So that's another reason why to join the starter pack. All right, never stop learning, Mary. Yes, I love that. Barry says live experience of guests and how they did and when they use PR. Yes, so that's exactly what I have in the first 4 episodes. Is I have actual guests who use the PR starter pack and the methods to get 10 plus features, and I have actual editors, like reporters, telling me the ins and outs of what they want to see. Tangible tips 1, 2, 3. Yes, I'm all about that. That's exactly how I came up with my PR starter pack and my CPR method. So 100% that's it. So I'm going to go now. I have to actually record another podcast episode, but please rate and review the podcast. I'm going to drop the link right here. And then that way hopefully you can be one of the 2 people who win the 30-minute session with me. Okay. The episodes drop on Monday. The trailer is already out. You can review it right now. And I cannot wait to see you on October 25th for a live call with the person that I interview in episode 1. So come Monday, this page will be refreshed. You will hear all 4 episodes. Thank you all so much for being here. I honestly didn't think that many people would make it today because I'm not interviewing anyone, but here's one more question is, now that I have the podcast, what do you want our Friday Facebook Lives to be? So what I can do on the Facebook Live on Friday is we could have a Q&A and go into the episode for questions. And then I can give you a sneak peek of next week's episode. So let me know if that would be interesting to you or not. But I don't have the bandwidth to do the podcast episode and then have a completely unrelated guest on. What I can try to do is try to get the guest for that week to be on. If not, then we can definitely do a deep dive with like questions or more about the episode. So let me know what you think, how we should repurpose our Friday lives so that it's interactive, and then we can go even deeper into the episode so that if you have questions about the episode, we can actually have a live kind of discussion about it. So let me know in the comments how you would want to structure these Facebook Friday lives, because the episodes go out on a Monday. And then Friday lives, I want to have like an interactivity. Oh, thank you so much for leaving a review. I appreciate that. All right, so Q&A and bonus for those who listen. Awesome. So maybe what I'll have is I'll have a newsletter going. By the way, check your emails, okay? Everyone check your emails. And what I'm going to do is have maybe like a form that you can submit, or you can press reply and be like, what is your one question about the episode? And what I can do is I can answer that on the Friday Live, as well as give you a sneak peek into the next week episode, so you'll know exactly what it is before it actually comes out. Awesome. Thank you all so much. Thank you for leaving a review. Thank you for being awesome. I love this community so much. You mean so much to me. And I hope you all have a wonderful weekend. Bye.